I promised to keep it light and fun, but in a way that you would still learn something, okay? So I will try to do that. Cool, let's go to my presentation. This is gonna be a step-by-step blueprint how to fail a startup, okay? Because that's the theme of this gathering, as I understand. Let's go. So my name is Justinas Pašys. I'm the founder of NGL Ventures, investment banking, big startups, smaller startups, founded startups myself. It's too small. I failed it, so I can talk about it. I wouldn't even put a logo here on the screen. Then I've went into startup investing, mentoring, and created NGL Ventures. And in the past 18 months since we launched, we have closed 23 startup investments, which is a lot. You can clap, it's okay. Yeah, and we closed 12 in the past year. This is PitchBook putting us in the top 10 most active investors in the Central Eastern Europe. They count only 7 investments because 5 were private. So if you count all 12, we're in the top 3. That's why I can talk about startup investing and failing startups. How do we compare to the tech, to the giants, to the big VC funds like Sequoia Capital? They did 103 investments in the last year, so we're like 9 times lacking behind, but it's still kind of okay since it's our, not even our 2 years of operation. So. I can talk only about so much, about what I know, about what I've learned, what I've seen. So I can talk about, I will share some theory, mainly our learnings from the Baltics, about early stage startup fails for beginner founders. How many of you have ever founded a startup? Show of hands. Okay, so most of you. It's like the other ones should feel pressure. Yeah. So a step-by-step guide to guarantee failure. I've seen over 5,000 startups over the past 5 years while I've been in the startup investment ecosystem. A bit over 1,000 startups per year I get to see. I talk with most of them. A lot of them have already failed. So I know some of the reasons why. So that's what I'm here to do, to share the learnings. It's going to be 20 steps. I see some of your faces since it's already quite late. We will go really fast through them, okay? Boom, step 1. Select a market you have no experience in. No experience in. You just walked home from your work and you thought of an idea and you decided to run with it and build it for the next 10 years. This is how to make sure you're like really fail your startup. You just pick a hot niche. You don't understand it. You just read about it somewhere. You have no network, no insight, no credibility. You don't even get one single client meeting. This is like super special way to start off. So this is step number 1. Step number 2, you do everything alone. Everything alone. You don't need co-founders. You read that ChatGPT is very good as a co-founder, and it's your CTO, CEO, COO, CBDO. So you decide to go do it alone because you don't need the co-founders. You don't need investors. You don't need accountability, advisors, advisory boards, startup boards. You don't need that. No outside brain power. You just do everything yourself. Okay? Everything that's in your mind, it's how you should proceed further. You just keep repeating to yourself that Zuckerberg built Facebook alone. Although this is not true, but you just repeat it to yourself and you keep yourself motivated to build the thing that you're building. Step number 3, you chase a sexy idea, not a painful problem. Okay? It has to be hot, it has to be trending. You fall in love with your idea and hope the market does too. You don't validate it, you just start building right away. You don't build a painkiller, you're building a vitamin. People don't really need it. It's kind of okay, but we're not willing to pay for it, so you build that. You solve a passion problems, passion of yours, not the markets. Okay, this is step number 3, very important. Step number 4, you postpone launching MVP until it's perfect. You have to feel really ready, really good about it. It's warm, fuzzy, you know, now I can launch it and put it online and it's going to be very high on product hunt. So that's what you do. You don't launch fast. You try to perfect it. You prioritize fantasy over feedback. You don't talk with anybody, as mentioned before, and you just launch it when you feel good about it. Step number 5, you ignore your customers. At all stages. Before building the MVP, iterating, you don't talk with your customers, even once. You don't need the customers. You decide what customers want for them because you know better. You don't talk to your customers ever, and Steve Jobs didn't ask because you saw it in the movie, so why should you? Yeah, it's just it's bulletproof. You overbuild, right? You just crank out as many features as you can. You don't start with one and launch it. No, you try to build like 20 features before you're ready to launch because you think it's going to provide the most value to your customer. A lot of poorly written features. Then you customize everything for your clients at some point. That's also a way to fail, and the more buttons, the better. When you open, the UX, you have to get lost a little bit. That's how you actually fail. You focus on branding. It's very important to build that logo. It has to be memorable. You prioritize the brand book over revenue because it has to look very slick and sexy. And you always obsess about this idea. Can people tell our name when seeing our logo? This is what keeps you up at night. Yeah. Step number 8, you wait for funding instead of building. You don't put a single cent into the company of your own money. You cannot. You just wait. You go to investor meetings, you pitch them for funding, and you don't build, you fundraise to build an MVP, you don't build it yourself. You put zero money, you put zero effort into it, you just keep your full-time job, refuse to quit, you just very, very into this saving money, especially your own, and asking for the investor to fund the whole thing. You also wait for funding instead of selling. Well, don't sell before fundraising and before building MVP. So you go out, you ask investors for money, then I'm gonna build the MVP, and then I'm gonna be selling. You hope that after fundraising, customers will swarm you because there's gonna be this huge PR announcement of how you raised funding, and then it's no way back. It's just huge lines, waiting lines of 2-3 months. You cannot fulfill even all of the orders that are coming in. So yeah, you perfect your deck and investor pitch in the meantime. You don't focus on the sales script. You don't focus on the value that your product is going to bring. You just focus on the investor pitch. Okay, that has to be like nailed down. Yeah, and afterwards you just say, I'm just not a sales guy. I'm a founder, I'm a tech person, I'm a visionary. I'm not a sales guy. I'm not going to be selling before or after. I'm just going to hire someone to sell it for me. Okay, it's very, very important. Step number 10. Ignore marketing. You just ignore it completely. If no one knows you exist, you're all good. People are just going to come somehow and find you, and then they're going to buy and give you the money, and everything is going to be okay. You don't have, when someone tells you, okay, you don't have the budget for marketing, but can you go like on social media, post some organic stuff, get some traction, it's free. No, you cannot do that because it's beneath you. It's for, for influencers do it, some gurus. I'm not going to be doing this. And if you're forced to do it, you're just going to go to ChatGPT, you're going to generate all these basic posts, and you're just going to drop them in whatever, in LinkedIn. So we're at half. We're at half. If you do these 10 things, you're pretty solid, but you're missing another 10 if you want to be like bulletproof. Step number 11, you price it low because you're scared. You're scared that they're not going to buy, it's going to be overpriced, it's going to be difficult to sell. So you price it low. Yeah, you're very afraid people won't buy. You compete on price. You look at the field, what is everyone charging, and then you undercut them by 10%. And yeah, you're going to be cheaper than all of your competitors, and then you're going to succeed because that's the way to go, and that's the way to build a solid business. Step number 12, you try to serve everyone, as wide of a market as possible. You don't look for like specific niches. No, you go out and we're going to be a CRM for everyone. For everyone. Everyone can use this. We're like Excel. You make your offer compelling to everyone, make your target as broad as you can, and be vague and mysterious, because that's how you build your credibility. Step number 13, you compare yourself to big companies. Like start right from the start. You launch and then aim to just be a little bit better than Microsoft, or a little bit better than the Google's product, and then you're good. You're going to be corporate right from the start. There's going to be very specializations, and people are going to be focused, your employees, and doing just one thing, and they're not going to be outside of their job descriptions. And then you're going to compare yourself daily with those successful companies. It's very great for motivation. You track your progress, which is basically standing in line, but you just keep comparing yourself, beating yourself down again, day and by day, because there's not enough progress, but that's a really good way to fail. Step number 14, you build the tech first and business second. So you basically build the platform, whatever you're building, and then you're looking for a solution. It's the perfect way, because tech is so easily changeable and it costs nothing. Yeah, you build the app, then you look for a solution, start with automation, then figure out the offer, and by no means you do anything manually because it's not scalable. Yeah, even at the start, like everything has to be automated, work perfectly. Nothing you do with your hands. You don't go and do it yourself as a CEO. Someone else has to do it. So it's very important to remember this one. Step number 15, you get burned out and just stay burnt out, because this is what you read, you saw on TikTok or Instagram. Guru talked about founder mode, and you just get burned out as fast as you can. You just worked for like 24 hours straight. And then you just maintain this miserable existence, and then you just spread it in your team and to your potential clients and everyone, and then it really works out, this failing. Of course, you never focus, always jump back and forth, keeping busy. It's very important to just maintain this facade that you're very busy, although basically productivity is at zero, but it's still, you're busy. Step 16 is pivot constantly. Every time you get a new idea, you just pivot. You don't talk with your team, you don't think about it, you don't discuss, you just straight ahead. You just pivot the business because this is going to be better, and you just completely reset the momentum to zero and slowly build back up. Okay, this is very important. Do it as often as you can. Never stay the course long enough to get the signal to build the value. You just pivot as fast as it gets difficult. Step number 17, you ignore completely unit economics, because Uber did it, so why can't I? We're losing money now, but we're gonna grow, and then we're gonna improve the unit economics when we get to unicorn status. You don't have a clue about your metrics, CAC, LTV, churn, because that's also not that important, and you vibe through the financials and budget. You kind of feel it out once in a while, and you never think about your cash flow. It's really not that important. Okay, so that's what you have to make sure you do if you want to really fail a startup, especially this one. Never think about your cash flow until it's like minus. Step 18, build in secret. You build in stealth mode. You don't tell anyone what you do. When you try to hire employees, you're like hushing them, like very silently. You're building very important things here. Don't speak too loudly. When you pitch investors yourself, you ask them to sign NDAs, because it's also very groundbreaking technology. People are going to steal your trade secrets and everything, so they have to sign NDAs, and yeah, you have to enforce them as well. So yeah, you have to be the world's best kept secret for a long time, for a year, for 2 years, maybe 3 years. So that's also key. And step 19, you reinvent the wheel. You don't do anything as usual. You think that problem solving, think that the problem you're solving is new. It never existed before. No one has ever tried to solve it. You don't contact the people who tried to solve it and how they tried to do it and why they failed. You don't even Google it. Or if you Google it, you just don't go to page number 2 or 3 or 4, because it's it's too much work. You innovate as much as you can all over the place, across all of the functions. You innovate. You don't innovate like for 5%. You innovate the whole thing, 100%. We're just going to build something that has not ever existed. And you don't use proven frameworks. You don't copy what works. You feel very, very special while doing it. It's very important. Okay, we're at our last step. Okay, step number 20 is you quit as soon as it gets hard. Okay, it's very important as well. You expect, very important, it has to be underlined. You expect that it's going to be easy and it's going to be fast and quick. You don't have planning and discipline, also important, and you quit too early. Okay. It's very important. So we got these 20 steps that you should take, and we can see some statistics why startups actually fail, even from bigger data sets. So if you just combine the no market need, run out of cash, not the right team, this is the bulk of the reasons why most of the startups fail. And if you do the 20 steps, you will make sure to match all of these 3, and you're good to go, okay? So if you want to succeed instead, it's very easy. You just reverse everything that I just said, all of the 20 steps, and you do the opposite of what I said, okay? If I would have just put you this list, you would be like, I don't know. But when I did the opposite thing, you kind of understand maybe a little bit better why you should do it this way. So number one, you select a market you have experience in, preferably at least 5 years. Even more, 10 years. When we invest, we look for 15 years of experience within a certain niche. So you do that, you build with others, with co-founders. You don't do it alone because it's going to be very, very difficult at some point and pretty fast. A lot of the time, it's not even about the tech, with all these AI tools popping up, enabling solo founders. It's more about this, it becomes very difficult. And you need mental support, psychological support because you're grinding and it doesn't work out and then you're crying at some point every day. So you need that. Solve a painful problem, not a sexy idea. Something that people are willing to pay for. You launch your MVP as fast as you can launch it and get feedback. You talk to your customers, you get feedback. When you have already launched, you should talk with your customers at least once per week. Build only what's necessary, as minimum feature set as possible, and world-class if possible, okay? Focus on solving problems before branding, okay? Logo is not that important. I have changed NGL logo 2 times already in the 1.5 years. We just, the name and the logo was I thought of it in a day. Start building before seeking funding. You put some money in and you start building the MVP, okay? Then you go to investors. You start selling before seeking funding, even better if you have some traction. I've known plenty of startups who were selling before having MVP, okay? They go to customers, they sell the thing, sign the contract, people are willing to pay up front. If it's software, it can be done, then you build. Invest in marketing early, doesn't have to be big budgets. Price based on value, not fear, as mentioned before. Cheap price usually doesn't pay off, contrary to most what people think. Serve a specific niche, as narrow as possible, especially at the start. Model small, scrappy players, not giants. You don't compare yourself to Microsoft and Google because they're 30, 40, whatever years old and have thousands or tens of thousands of people. Build the business first, tech second. You don't think about it that I'm going to launch this platform and it's going to generate the business. You think about the business that is going to be generated by this platform or another tool. Avoid burnout, prioritize sustainability. I mean, there's going to be a lot of work and there's going to be, might be some burnout, but you still have to go on vacation. You have to have at least one weekend day. At least one habit, as in the previous keynote, it actually helps you build better things and be more productive. Stick with one direction long enough to win. This is one of the most important lessons. Most people fail just because they quit too early. Know your unit economics. We look at it right from the start. It's important for us that you're not going to minus, even from the start, and customers are willing to pay, and pay good margins. Rule of thumb is an 80% gross profit margin for most startups that we invest in. Build in public. Doesn't mean you have to stream yourself on YouTube how you're working every day, okay? But post about it, talk about it, get feedback, and so on. You'll get more customers and investors this way, and more publicity, and so on and so on. Better employees. Use proven frameworks. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Most of the times, the successful startups, they're reinventing maybe 5%. And you push through when it gets hard. Yeah, it's going to get, you just have to expect that it's going to get hard many times, all the time, and you just push through it if you want to build a startup. If you don't want that, you do something else. That is it. Thank you.